Hello and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn reading. This is a collective reading. I will have each of the 12 signs posted. I am cutting the deck before I don't know why I'm doing this right now, because I did want to talk about some other things first, but it's a time for healing and conclusions are within reach. So I do feel like this is, and I do feel the energy of a major change, a major shift. There is a lot of planetary action that's taking place specifically around surrounding the energy of this full moon, which I do want to talk about. So this full moon in Capricorn is happening on the 29th of June. It is happening at 7:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is at 8 degrees of Capricorn. So you can look at 8 degrees of Capricorn if you have your natal chart. If you do not have your natal chart, those are available free online. You do not have to put no card information in there or anything. You can go on there and get them free, and you can get an idea on where 8 degrees of Capricorn is in your natal chart, and that will help you um, see what house is being activated with this full moon. So while we do have the moon sitting at 8 degrees of Capricorn, we have the sun sitting at 8 degrees of Cancer, we have the energy of Mercury stationing to retrograde at the same time as this full moon. We have Jupiter getting ready to enter into the sign of Leo the very next day. We have Mars entering into Gemini. And another big thing I feel that really popped out to me with this moon is that the moon is within 4 degrees of the vortex on this day, which really stuck out to me because that's like, getting swept up into the unknown. Again, it can be good or bad. You'll have to take what resonates with you and see, it's all goes according to choices, decisions, things like that we make. So I'm going to just pull some cards and see what energies are popping out for this full moon. I'm only going to pull one card out of this deck. This is the Moonology Oracle deck, and I will leave the links to all the decks that I am using in the description box below. So the energy is gaining momentum is the card that came out from this Moonology deck. Right there, a lot of purple. I feel crown chakra very strong. To me, that's about getting downloads, receiving information from the higher realms. So look, bottom of the deck, surrender to the divine. Like I said, feel a lot of purple. I'm feeling there's a lot of downloads, like there's a lot of things coming through. And what did I say? Mars was entering Gemini. So Mars, the planet of action, is entering that Gemini energy of our thoughts, information, communication, things like that. So I do feel like it's going to be a very big day. I do feel this is a very powerful full moon that's taking place for several reasons. One, because of the energies that are surrounding it, the alignment of the planets, the shift in direction. We also have the nodes of fate, which right now are in the signs of Pisces and Virgo. They're getting ready to go into the sign of Aquarius and Leo. That's going to be a video for another day because I could do an entire video just on that transit right there, which obviously I will in the future. So I'm going to just take a peek, and like what I'm seeing right now is the energy gaining momentum, surrendering to the divine. I feel like this is really trusting your intuition, being mindful of the energies that, the messages that are being downloaded to you. We have the first card, control your ego and embody modesty. This is the virtue of humility showing up. Ooh, my little angel. All right, don't want to knock that over. Bottom of the deck was pursue your dreams. I feel for whoever this is resonating with this, and it's going to resonate with this. I feel like there has been, I want to say the word lull, but I feel like it's more than that. I kind of feel like somebody's been feeling their feelings. Very interesting that this is coming up because this is going to be a big theme playing out. Mercury is stationing on this very day, the 29th of June, to retrograde. It has been in the sign of Cancer, which talks about our home, family, foundation. It is a water sign energy. It does talk about feelings and emotions that are associated with that. And so I feel there could have been or is going to be during this retrograde season, because it is retrograding back through the sign of Cancer, where there's going to be a lot of feelings that come up, right? A lot of emotions, things like that, because it is in that water sign energy, and I feel like it's going deep. I just feel this sense of depth. Blessed Assurance is the next card that is showing up. So I do feel like there's a humbling experience. I don't want to talk about it on this video because I'm doing an entire video about it, but I did talk about the nodes switching signs, going in from Pisces, Virgo into Aquarius and Leo. The south node will be the node that is in the sign of Leo. So there is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that there will be a lot of ego death, right? Because the south node is typically like a comfort zone, um, something like that. It's something we're meant to release. I'm, in the sign of Leo, this could be where you're releasing, like I feel like it's meant to tap into, release the lower Leo vibrational frequencies and tap into the higher vibrational Leo um, energies, like courage, strength, um, you know, generosity, love, right? Those are higher strength. Bottom of the deck is the treasure of abundance. So I see the Blessed Assurance. I feel this is a really big pivotal period for everybody. And again, not everybody is going to go with the flow or step into alignment or do the right thing or make the right choices. It's not the way the universe works. But for those of you who are doing that shadow work, going within, experiencing that ego death, or maybe you already have, surrendering to the unknown, taking leaps of faith, trusting in yourself and your intuition, doing things based on truth, clarity, integrity. Like, this is a really, really beautiful energy playing out. Next card is Stay in the Flow. So this is the last of the cards I'll be pulling from this deck, other than to show you the bottom of the deck, which is the Welcome Change. I feel a lot of you have been waiting for this change. I feel like it's something, that's been pulling at you, tugging at you, maybe not necessarily understanding the way to go or what direction to take or what choices to make. And I feel that's where that energy is really drawing my attention, is to having to go within, doing some soul searching, really, being honest with oneself on what it is that you desire. Wow, star card, there's the Aquarius energy right there. So very interesting when you see the star underneath that, because it really gives me that Leo energy, the lower vibrational Leo energy of arrogance or ego or something like that. And I just feel like this is about humbling oneself, and this is about healing oneself, and this is about embracing the unknown. Wow, there's another Leo energy right there, the star card. So very big energy. And again, like I said, Jupiter is entering the sign of Leo the very next day. And Jupiter is a planet that is about growth, expansion. It makes things larger than life, whether they be good or bad. Like sometimes you have an experience, and in hindsight, it's like I make, making they say, what is it, making a mountain out of a molehill sort of thing, or whatever that is. But I feel like this is like really expanding in a positive way and in a positive direction. And I feel it's a direct result of the choices, the actions, the humbling oneself, the aligning with the truth, transparency, integrity, all of those things playing into one, listening to your higher self, trusting your intuition, being mindful of all that, and welcoming in the change that is taking place and transpiring, which is ultimately for your greater good. So the Six of Water is the next card that shows up, and it's very, I want to pull clarity cards on that. Did I bring, I didn't. All right, I'll have to clarify with this page of fire. So, I'm feeling with this six of waters that there was something. This feels like a past energy, and it feels like this person is really latched on to. I feel it's like the middle point between their sacral chakra and their solar plexus chakra. So there could be an like something that was out of line or out of alignment in the past when it come to action, trusting your intuition, allowing yourself to shine, something like that, manifesting in what you desired. It feels like something was blocked. It feels like there's a lot of pain. I feel like this person's in a lot of pain or was in a lot of pain. Give me one more card to clarify this. Give me one more. I thought I had brought another deck over, but I apparently didn't, so I do apologize for that. So let's see. Give us one more card to tap into right there. Ace of water to the four of earth. Wow. So again, it feels like something was blocked. Four of earth talks about a block. And I do feel like there was a block. Somebody manifesting something. Could have been a new beginning. Could have been a new relationship. I feel like new beginning anyway. I'm looking at this with the ace of waters. It feels like in the past something was blocked. I'm not necessarily feeling like I feel because there's so many people that watch these, for some of you, this could have been just out of alignment with the sacral chakra, like I said, where the action, the fire, the drive, and then manifestation goes through the solar plexus chakra, where there was like something blocked. It just feels like there was a block for some reason, whether that be an internal thing within oneself, whether this was an external thing that, was part of this. It just feels to me like there was a block um, as towards a new beginning in the past. Eight of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck. Maybe this is where somebody didn't put in the work, want to put in the work, do the work. Eight of Pentacles is about putting in the time, energy, and effort, staying focused. And it just feels like to me there was, take what resonates. I'm not going to keep repeating that over and over, but that's how I'm feeling. There was a block in the past, something blocked. An action being taken, a manifestation coming to fruition. It feels like that. It can be even within an individual, like your fears. You let your fears outweigh your faith, right? That could be a blockage. So you have to take what resonates. But I feel whatever I'm looking at right now, I feel because that star is showing up right here and that virtue of humility is right there. There has been an ego death and there has been some sort of healing. And I feel with this blessed assurance and staying in the flow is like somebody has gone within, done some work, realigned or aligned, cleared out those blockages, whatever those were, fears, doubts, insecurities, anything like that. It's how I'm feeling. So let's keep going. Next card that comes up, that's the truth. Ace of Swords. So we get the Ace of Water and the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Fire is at the bottom of the deck, which is telling me that as a result of this work, as a result of the internal work, somebody has gone within, like I said, done that soul searching, really tapped in, recognized some things, that they've removed this block. Whatever this block is, I feel like it's being removed now. And look underneath. Underneath the Six of Fire was the Ace of Earth. There's three aces. So we got the Ace of Water, the Ace of Air, and the Ace of Earth. And the only ace that is not showing up out here right now, leading to this Six of Fire, which is the victory and success, is the Ace of Wands, taking the action. Underneath all of that, which I'm not leaving on the table, but I will show it to you, is the Ten of Air. I do feel like there was some sort, look, Ten of Air to the Ten of Earth to the two, wow, 10, I'm seeing the 10 three times now. 10, 10, 10. And there's the Eight of Wands right here. So I do feel in the past there was some sort of betrayal that blocked. I keep feeling blocked. Something very stable. And, or, blocking somebody moving forward is how I'm feeling. And again, this can be you, your own fears, doubts, insecurities stopping you, blocking you, from moving forward towards, there's the Two of Cups, right? Towards a balance, towards peace, harmony. What else did I see out here that I felt like it was the Ace of Cups? Ace of Cups to the Two of Cups, right? Um, Embarking on that. And then the Ten of Fire. I love to see this Ten of Fire in this deck because look at what's happening. The old cycle is being burned away. This makes me feel like somebody has gone within, you know, humbled themselves, had an ego death, done some soul searching, did some shadow work, and is burning off that old cycle. And Eight of Fire talks about moving forward. This talks about really quick advancement. And I do feel that is going to be somehow associated with that Jupiter energy, even though Jupiter is really not a fast moving planet, but I feel the growth and expansion. And it's like, well, Jupiter is the archer, right? So that's when you pull that bow back, you know, that bow and arrow, you pull that back. And then when you let that go, when you release that, like I said, the Ten of Fire, let that cycle go, that arrow propels forward. And what else with this Mercury going through Cancer, there's going to be some serious stuff about that, but it was Mars and Gemini. That's where that action is, like boom, 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 right? Like really happening real quick and in a hurry, things happening, movement forward, progression. Again, stay in the flow, be mindful of that. I definitely feel like there's some things that are going, like I said, old cycles that are going to be released, burned away, let go of, dissipate in, you know, that's a process in itself. Messenger of air. So I feel there is some sort of communication or a change of a mindset. There's been a judgment. There's a judgment call. Then I see the tower, which is very interesting. And I do not feel like this is going to be a happy experience for everybody because it's like every choice decision you make that's better for you is not always better for someone else. This gives me the vibe that somebody is making choices that are what's best for them, not what's best for everybody else, right? It's like putting themselves first. It's about being mindful of, you know, their soul growth, their joy, their happiness. I feel like this tower is something that is meant to happen. Uranus is in Gemini as well, and what did I say? Mars is moving in there, so that's just that's just a setup right there. When Mars goes into is sitting snuggled up with that Uranus, that's like something like everything goes, everything changes. There's a radical shift, there's a radical change, there's a judgment call. Something's been blocked. Again, see the wing? There's been a pathway, a portal, a doorway. Something has been blocked. And you know, for some of you, this is as a result of something internally. For some of you, it's an external thing. And whatever it is, I feel like it's being taken out of the way. That's just how I'm feeling about it, and I don't feel like everybody is going to like that. Like if you're the number one employee, right, and you decide like this isn't for me anymore, I'm heading in a new direction. I haven't been happy here. I don't feel like it's, you know, working for me, and yada yada yada. All of that stuff, you know, it's not going to be good for the person who, you know, knows you're dependable, can be counted on, a good worker, that sort of thing. It's not going to be good for them. They're not going to like this, you know? So, anyhow, look, this Ten of Fire came out and it came out in reverse. That cycle is being done. It's over. The burdens are being dropped. There's the Hermit card. A lot of major arcana cards I've seen popping up through here. The Tower, the Star, the Judgment card was out here. The Hermit card is out here. So I am seeing a lot of major changes. The Hermit card is Virgo energy. And when you look at this energy, look underneath it is the Queen of Earth. So this is like behind the scenes. Somebody is doing the work. They want to change something in their physical reality, whether this be their foundation, their home, their job, their business, whatever this is. This Hermit card right here talks about going within. There is some sort of discovery that somebody is now aligning with. They're recognizing, they're seeing the truth for what it really is. And when they start aligning, go with the flow and staying in alignment with what is meant for them, you see all the keys hanging up there on this door. This is where all these doors start to open. Some of you may have really felt like, it's been stuck and stagnant. And I kind of feel that's just the universe saying, you're not going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. And, now there is this aha moment, this wake up call, and there is this recognition of knowing what needs to go, what cycles need to be burned away and released and surrendered, and so that you can move forward. So I'm just going to pull some of these Vintage Wisdom Oracle cards, and we'll see what message Spirit wants you to know going forward. And that is expression. Express yourself. Maybe some of you have been afraid to say what it is you want, what it is you desire. I do see the Innocence card on the bottom of the deck, so I do feel like this is kind of like tapping back into that light-hearted energy. Maybe some of you have been really overwhelmed and burdened by the challenges and experiences and responsibilities. Not like I'm telling anybody not to be responsible, right? But you need to stay in that light-hearted energy. That's how you attract, is through that soul of, when your soul is in tune and tapped into the love and the you know just like an innocence, right, of not being, like people that fear certain things, like they'll fear and fear and fear, and that fear is like withholding them, it's restraining them, it's restricting them, it's blocking them from experience the best that they can, experience through those fears. So it is about facing some fears and going back into a lighter heart space, soul space, that sort of energy. So we see the card of expression, express yourself. I see so many butterflies coming out of this person's head. So I feel like this expression is really the opportunity. And it can be about how you feel, because like I said, this Mercury's retrograde in the sign of Cancer. This could be where you're really feeling these feelings and expressing these feelings, and moving forward, allowing, releasing the burden of, holding that all in, of just balances, balances the next card of releasing. Like, I feel like someone's had a hard time expressing or releasing how they feel or speaking up about something. But I feel like this is all coming out. And look, there's that card of innocence again, going back to this fresh, place, this, or coming to this fresh place, this fresh start, this new start, this place of where you weren't so bitter, angry, heartbreak can cause all of that. Childhood trauma can cause things like this, but I just feel like it's coming up to be definitely felt, expressed, and released. And it brings through the balance. This is how I'm feeling with this. And again, it doesn't have to just be, it can be, take what resonates, right? For some of you, this is in regards to job, career. For some of you, this is in regards to relationship. For some of you, this is, some internal things that you've been dealing with within yourself. And there's the compassion card, and there's that guardian angel, which it was interesting because I love this angel, and I usually feel what stones or I'm drawn to before I bring them out to do a reading, and I was really drawn to this angel. And there's that angel. It's like this is about being compassionate with yourself as you're going through this transformation. You can see the butterfly wings on both of these angels, right? So this is talking about being easy on yourself as you go through this transformation. Stop beating yourself up, and just really being kind to yourself, and give yourself the grace to go through this transformation, to morph from that old cycle into your new cycle. Next card that shows up is Enchantment. There's a lot of magic. I love this card. There's a lot of magic, mystery. I feel like a lot of things that are going to unfold out of nowhere. It's like the more you align with where you're meant to be, what you're meant to do, more, even aligning with what you need to release, the more things that will fall into place. And I love this celebration card with all these butterflies because this just really brings me that vibe of a major celebration after a huge transformation like I was feeling underneath this card right there. I hope this message serves you well. Please leave me a comment and let me know. And I send you all love and light.